Hi there, it's Carleen here from Gut Health Nutrition with another recipe today. As the weather gets a little bit cooler here in the southern parts of Australia, it's time for me to crack out my crock pot, my slow cooker, and it tends to come out of its spot in the cupboard. It doesn't really spend much time packed away now until the end of winter because I love doing a slow cook. It is very, very easy to build your own gut health through what you put in the pot. So if you were doing a chicken or a beef slow cook casserole, you would then layer the vegetables in that go with your part of your gut protocol plan. So if you were doing the soluble fibre introductions and using soluble fibre only, you would put in vegetables such as carrot, which is peeled, sweet potato, pumpkin, some zucchini, and some strung celery, and that would be the base for your meat, and then some bone broth with that, and you set that going, and basically for the whole day you can rest easy knowing that dinner at least is being cooked. And these casseroles can have up to 1 kilo of meat, and therefore you can put a little bit aside, freeze it straight away so that you've got it for a meal another day. Today I'm making a beef crock pot, a very basic beef crock pot. The choices of beef that I like to use are either an osso buco, where it's actually still on the bone, or I like to use things like gravy beef or oyster blade that's got a fair bit of sinew in it, and it actually melts into a beautiful soft meat. So I'm using just 1/2 kilo today in my crock pot with a very, very basic recipe, but you put in the vegetables that suit you for where you are with engineering your own gut bacteria at the moment. Just be aware that some of the stronger vegetables like cauliflower or broccoli or cabbage, not only do they have a lot of insoluble fibre, so your gut has to be quite robust to be able to digest those, but also they are very strong flavours and they're going to take over the whole meal. That's fine if that's what you want, but if you've got fussy eaters and what you put in the crock pot's going to be detected, leave it to the lovely soft flavours. So things like celery, I like celery, carrot, and leek, and sometimes I'll slip a bit of zucchini in there, another lovely soft flavour. Anyway, let's build up our crock pot, set it going, and go off and do whatever we need to do for the day because dinner's cooked. Into the crock pot today, I'm putting in 1/2 kilo of gravy beef. I'm putting in a couple of cloves of crushed garlic. I've got my vegetables, carrot, leek, and celery. I could put in onion, but I think the leek will do the work for me there. I'm putting in fresh herbs, some parsley, bay leaf, thyme, and I'm putting in just a little bit of rosemary and sage as well. Why not? All of these beautiful fresh herbs actually have antibacterial properties and help us keep balance of our gut bacteria. I'm putting in my pinch of salt. I'm going to put in some cracked pepper. I'm putting in plenty of cracked pepper because I'm pairing that today with a little bit of turmeric. I just want to make this a little bit more anti-inflammatory. So just going to add in some fresh slices of turmeric. That'll put a lovely orange colour through. It'll look like a carrot. Turmeric provides an anti-inflammatory boost by upregulating our anti-inflammatory DNA. I'm also going to add some liquid, and the liquid I'm just going to make up a little bit of bone broth. This is a powdered bone broth. There's plenty of bone broths available on the market, or you can be making your own. I'm just a little bit under-resourced today with my bone broth, so I'm just putting couple of teaspoons of bone broth into about a cup of water to add to this. That's a sneaky way to get more bone broth into your family when there's no bones in the actual casserole. That is all that is needed. We're just going to pop the lid on, turn it on. I'm going to cook that on high for at least 4 hours. Here we go with the slow cooker. There are 2 things to remember about the slow cooker. One, it's a fabulous one-pot cooking wonder for you to be able to set and forget. But the second thing is that it is slow. So this is perfect for when you're out all day, you're working, you're busy, you've got things on, and you want to be able to set and forget. As long as it's got a bit of moisture in there, it is going to be fine. In fact, it prefers not to have the lid on and off regularly. It just wants to sit there and cook away for the whole day. But because it's slow, you need to give yourself at least 4 to 6 hours before you want to eat. So this has been going for 4 hours, and I can tell you it could do with a little bit longer, probably another hour to 2 hours. It will be fine, but it is actually ready. Let's have a look. Nice and plain, this beautiful beef crock pot after 4 hours could be served, especially if the kids have come home from school on the bus and they're hungry right now. They'll be able to smell how good that is. But it could also be just as good in an hour to 2 more hours. But that's really nice and tender. That meat is tender. The vegetables are well cooked. And that is a delicious family meal. You could serve that on a bed of mash, and mash any sort of vegetables. It doesn't have to be mashed potato. It could be mashed pumpkin or sweet potato. There we go. In this video, I referred to soluble and insoluble fibres and how we engineer our gut using these fibres from vegetables. My new mini course, The Fibre Effect, is available via my website. It is all about how to build the right bacteria and what you're eating to feed those bacteria. Check it out in the link in my bio, and don't forget to subscribe.